To ask you just some simple things about you. Because
Simple. My life hasn't been simple, only
I know.
it's been hard, very hard.
Your favorite food?
My favorite food, rouladen. I like steak, and you beat it up and make it real thin. You put mustard in it, more onions and bacon, and you wrap it up and you boil it.
German food?
Yeah, it's really good. And I like red cabbage, and I like klöße, which is a potato ball. Mix them with cooked potatoes and raw potatoes. Put them all together and put an egg in it, and you roll it up, and then you boil it slowly.
Sounds.
Yeah, they call it klöße. Klöße.
What about your favorite type of music to listen to?
I like the old time music, like Doris Day, you know. I like soft music. Soft. I don't like the hippie hoppy, you know, noise.
You have a favorite movie?
I like the Shirley Temple movies.
And then a favorite book?
Actually, a lot of spiritual books. I like that kind of books, yeah.
What was one of your favorite things to do as a child?
Play house.
Playhouses?
Play house, yeah. My sister was always the lady what went out and start buying things in a store, and I was always the seller. I like to play dolls, and I like to read. I
You
did
read
like
as a
to
kid?
read all my life, yes.
Wow. How did you meet Papa Hansel?
He was in the army, and he was in the house next door to me, and he was sitting on like a fence looking up to my house, and German people have a hard time, so they look out the windows all the time, you know. And I looked out at the window, and he did like this, and I said, "No, you come up," you know. So he came up, and he asked my mother if she would do his laundry, and she said she would, and he would pay her with food, because we didn't have any food in Germany. And then he came all the time, and before you knew it, we were on item.
When did you guys first meet?
It was in 1945, in the summer months. It must have been probably in the fall. Pardon?
You were a teenager or?
Yeah, teenager. Yeah, I was very young. I was 16. And I dated him for 3 years before I married him. He went to America. He was in the army to visit his mother because she was dying. And he came back again to Germany on a no pass. Yeah, Muscat count.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just to come see you?
Yeah, and he walked in on a Sunday. I'll never forget, on a Sunday morning. He walked about 20 or 30 miles. He walked just to get to see me, you know. When he transferred a long ways away, got on the train all the time and came to see me for just a little while. We were on item, that's for sure, yeah. But he was a real good man. Oh yeah, he was a good man. First coat I got, and the first pair of shoes, his mother sent them. My rings, my wedding rings, she bought them and sent them over there. And we got married actually in the German courthouse. And then it was a while before we went to my home, and we got married in that where you never been to Germany. And the church is right in the middle.
Okay.
And you could hear the church bells ringing all the time. It was nice. The cemetery was very close. We walked to the cemetery all the time when we had people who had died, you know. We always had a nice garden, and we had a little house in there where we hang our clothes, or we sit and have coffee and cake, you know. But my grandmother was my idol. She would take me to the coffee house in Germany and got me over there. You put in a cone. You don't put ice cream. You put whipped cream in it. And she would buy me those every day. She would take me to the movie all the time. When I was little, she would buy me every damn pacifier you could buy.
Always take us to the movie theater. I love
Yeah,
that.
I did worry a lot about all you kids. I wanted nothing but the best for you guys. I say I will miss you guys, you know. My whole life actually revolves around my grandchildren. And you're the only one, Nick, who comes and sees me.
So you mentioned grandchildren, how we're all very important to you.
They're very.
If you had any advice to give to my child or my children or your great-great-grandchildren, what advice would you give them if they could watch this video?
Lot of time. The time after school, sit with them and read to them and let them read to you, teach them how to read. My father did that. That's one thing he did do is every night he would sit with me and read, and I had to read to him, you know. And a lot of learning. Yeah, that's what you need to do. It's not to go out and have a good time. It's you have to teach your children time. You know what I mean? And let them know you care, you know. As I look back, I needed to do a lot more than what I did. I was very strict, and sometimes that isn't that good either. But see, I was raised like that, you know, by my parents. They were strict. Yeah, we had to work all the time. Teach them how to work. Teach your children how to work. Starting at home, cleaning a house, you know, helping with supper. That's one thing you need to do is teach them.
Your parents went to jail at one point for...
My mother did.
Your mom?
She we were feeding prisoners of war because they didn't have any food. They were eating out of a garbage can. And my mother saw that, and she gave them bread to eat. And the guy what was watching the prisoners, he reported my mother to the, like an FBI, you know. She was in jail for a whole year. And you know, I was in the jail too. You didn't know that, did you?
No.
Can I tell you that story?
Yeah, please.
The main guy, the general, went from house to house and told every German family that the young girls had to go and clean all the houses for the soldiers. And my mother said, my daughter is not a cleaning woman. She can't do that. And I was 16. And they came the next day and put me in jail. And my mother had a family. They were Jewish. She was good friends with the girls. And she told the man, the father, she said, my daughter is in jail. Please do something so she can get out. So he did, because he was Jewish. He had a lot of pull, you know. Yeah, and I was laying in jail with a woman on my cot, and they were all prostitutes, you know. They were sleeping around and all. And she had AIDS and everything. It's a wonder I didn't catch anything, you know. But I wasn't in there very long, the most a week, I believe, you know. But everybody was upset that I had to go to jail because I didn't want to clean house for the American soldiers. I think she was afraid that I would get raped or something, you know, because that's what they did in those days, you know.